In the present video session, we'll cover essential characteristics of cloud computing, cloud services and deployment models, cloud computing infrastructure, and cloud adoption considerations. In today's competitive environment, organizations are under increasing pressure to improve efficiency and transform their IT processes to achieve more with less. Businesses need reduced time to market, better availability, and reduced expenditures to meet the challenging businesses requirements and accelerated pace of innovations. So we can go for cloud computing concepts so that these long-standing challenges are addressed with the emergence of new computing style, which enables organizations and individuals to obtain and provision IT resources as a service. So now we'll take what is the definition of cloud computing. Cloud computing is a model for enabling convenient on-demand network accesses to a shared pool of configurable computing resources. The resources may be network. I can have different resources like network, or else the resource may be storage, or else any kind of applications and services that can be rapidly provisioned and released with minimal management effort or service provider interactions. So this is the actual definition of cloud computing. So we can make use of widely adopted definition of cloud computing comes from US National Institute of Standard and Technology. So in short, I can consider it as NIST. NIST. Special publications. With the cloud computing, user can browse and select relevant cloud services such as compute, software, storage, or a combination of these resources via a portal. Cloud computing automates delivery of selected cloud services to the users. Always, so the cloud computing automates delivery of some set of cloud services to the respective users. It helps organizations and individuals deploy IT resources. As I mentioned, IT resources may be storage, application or network at reduced total cost of ownership with faster provisioning and compliance adherence. So now we'll take what are the enabling technologies. That means cloud enabling technologies. So the first one is grid computing and utility computing, followed by virtualization and service oriented architecture are enabling technologies of cloud computing. So first we'll take what is the meaning of grid computing. Grid computing is a form of distributed computing that enables the resources of numerous heterogeneous computers. So what is the meaning of grid computing? Grid computing is a form of distributed computing that enables the resources of numerous heterogeneous computers in a network to work together in a single task. So we can combine all the resources together. That means a numerous heterogeneous computer within a single network, and that can work together in a single task but at the same time. Grid computing enables parallel computing and is the best for large workload. So this grid computing can be used under parallel computing concept and which is best for large workload. The second one is utility computing. Utility computing is also a service, or I can say that is a service provisioning model, in which a service provider makes computing resources available to customers as required. It charges them based on usage. So depending upon the usage, depending upon the user demand or usage, so we can apply the charges to the users based on usage. This is analogous to other utility services such as electricity, where charges are based on consumption. We know that electricity charges will be based on consumption per unit. Next enabling technology is virtualization. Virtualization is a technique that abstracts the physical characteristics of IT resources from resource users. So in the case of virtualization, which is a technique which combines the physical characteristics of IT resources. So which combines the physical characteristics of IT resources from resource users. So which also enables the resources to be viewed and managed as a pool. So that means the resources can be viewed or managed as a pool or a single unit. And let's user create virtual resources from the pool. Virtualization provides better flexibility, for provisioning of IT resources compared to provisioning in a non-virtualized environment. It helps optimize resource utilization and delivering resources more than efficiently. So I can say that if you are considering virtualization, so we can have better utilization of resources as well as the entire virtualization architecture deliver the resources more efficiently. So the last cloud enabling technique is service oriented architecture. In short, we can call it as SOA. Service oriented architecture or SOA, which provides a set of services. SOA provides a set of services that can communicate with each other. So in the case of SOA, it consisting of set of services and that can communicate, those services can communicate with each other. So these services works together to perform some activity or simply pass data among services. So SOA consisting of some set of services which may be any activity kind of service or simply a service which can transfer the data between the services or among the services. So now we'll take characteristics of cloud computing. The first characteristic is on-demand self-service, followed by broad network access, resource pooling, rapid elasticity, and measured services. So these are the major characteristics of cloud computing. So we'll take one by one. First we'll take on-demand self-service. So with respect to cloud computing, consumer can unilaterally provision computing capabilities such as the computing capabilities may be like server time, or we can say that network usage or storage as needed automatically without requiring any human interactions with each service provider. So this cloud computing which provides computing capabilities without any human interactions with the service provider. So for example, a cloud service provider publishes a service catalog. So the cloud service provider consisting of a single catalog which contains informations about all cloud services. So the cloud computing maintains a single service catalog which contains all the informations about the service providers. In short, I can call it as cloud service provider. Cloud service provider. So the service catalog includes informations about, so the service catalog under cloud computing which contains some set of informations about service attributes, price and request processes. Consumers view the service catalogs via web-based user interface. I can call it as web-based user interface. And use it to request for a service. So they can use, the consumers can view these catalogs via web-based user interface and they can place their request for service. Consumers can either ready to use the service or change a few service parameter to customize the services. So the next characteristics is broad network access. The next characteristics is broad network access. So that is nothing but capabilities are available over the network and access through standard mechanisms that promote use by heterogeneous thin or thick client platform. So here the platform whatever we used, either that may be thin platform or thick platform. For example, mobile phones, tablets, laptops or workstations. So the next characteristics is resource pooling. So the provider's computing resources, as I mentioned before, the resources are pooled in the case of cloud computing. So the resources are pooled to serve multiple consumers using a multi-tenant model with different physical and virtual resources dynamically assigned and reassigned according to the customer or consumer demand. So I can say that the resources are pooled to in a single model, and the resources can be assigned or reassigned according to the consumer's demand. There is a sense of location independence in that the customers generally has no control or knowledge. So customers, they'll not be having any control or knowledge over the exact location of the provided resources. So the customers or consumers will not be having any control or knowledge over the exact location of the provided resources, but may be able to specify the location at a higher level. So for example, country, state or data centers. Examples of resources include, as we know that the resources may be either storage, network bandwidth, memory or processing. Rapid elasticity. The consumer can leverage rapid elasticity of the cloud when they have fluctuations in their IT resource requirement. For example, an organization must require double the number of web and application servers for a specific duration to accomplish a specific task. So we considered one example like an organization requires double the number of web and application servers for a specific duration in order to perform a specific task. For the remaining period, they might want to release idle server resources to cut down the expenses. The cloud enables consumers to grow and shrink the demand for resource dynamically. So that means depending upon the requirement or depending upon the demand, we can say the cloud enables consumers to grow as well as shrink the demand for resources. Demand for resources, I can say that it's nothing but demand for resources. Demand for resources. So the last characteristics is measured service. Cloud system automatically control and optimize resources used by leveraging a metering capability at some level of abstraction appropriate to the type of service. As I mentioned before, the type of service may be storage, provisioning or processing, bandwidth, and active user accounts. Resource usage can be monitored, controlled, and reported, providing transparency for both the providers, that is service providers, and consumers of utilized service. So here the resource usage. The question comes with the resource usage. So these resource usage, the resource usage will be monitored. It will be monitored, controlled, and reported, providing transparency between the service providers as well as the service consumers. So now we'll consider major benefits of cloud computing. So the first one is reduced IT cost. Cloud services can be purchased based on pay per usage. So I can say that the cloud services, so we can purchase based on pay per usage. Pay per usage or subscription pricing. This reduces or eliminates the consumer's IT capital expenditure. The second benefits of cloud computing is business agility. Cloud computing provides the capability to allocate and scale computing capacity quickly. Cloud computing can reduce the time required to provision and deploy new applications and services from month to minutes. So I can say that the actual computing services can be available very quickly. So this enables businesses to respond more quickly to market changes and reduce time to market time. So in short, we can call it as, we can consider it as the actual computing time required with respect to the cloud computing will be very short. So some applications it requires around month, but if you are adapting the cloud computing services, we can reduce to minutes. So the next benefits is flexible scaling. Cloud computing enables consumers to scale up, scale down, scale out, or scale in demand for computing resources easily. The consumers can unilaterally or automatically scale computing resources. Any consumer can scale the available resources without any interaction with the service provider. So this is the actual flexibility provided to the consumer. The flexible service provisioning capability of cloud computing often provides a sense of unlimited scalability. To the cloud service consumers. So the last benefit is high availability. Cloud computing has the capability to ensure the resources resources availability at varying levels depending on the consumer's policy and priority. So we can say that the resources can be available with respect to the cloud computing depending upon the actual resource availability, depending upon policy and priority, we can say. Redundant infrastructure components like server, redundant infrastructure like server, network path, and the storage along with clustered software enable fault tolerance for cloud deployment. So it also provides fault tolerance. So these techniques can be considered in order to provide the high availability for multiple data centers located in different geographic regions, which prevents data unavailability due to regional failures or any kind of disasters. So in short, we can consider the major benefits of cloud computing are reduced IT cost. So that is with respect to pay per usage or subscription pricing. So the next one is business agility, which enables the business to respond more quickly to market changes and reduce time to market time. So the next one is flexible scaling. So here the flexible service provisioning capability of cloud computing provides a sense of unlimited scalability to the cloud service consumers. So the last benefit is high availability. So we can say that the cloud computing has the capability to ensure the resource availability at a varying level. So in short, we can call it as the cloud computing techniques enables the higher availability of the data, and even if the data centers are located in different geographical regions and which may prevent data unavailability due to any kind of regional failures or disasters.